Hello, my 3D printer peeps. I'm here with the Bambulab X1C, that is the X1C printer, with the AMS included. We will unbox and assemble it together right now. When you open your box, don't get crazy with things like box cutters and knives. I'd rather not have you cut into your printer or any accessories. Inside the box, you're gonna see this amazing bamboo packaging. Go ahead and pull these corners off. And you're gonna see these tabs right here. They are taped to the box. Peel the tape off. So it's like this. Put the box on the floor. Grab those two handles from the bag. Pull up. And drop it on your table. Be careful, there's lots of stuff inside that box. Got some really awesome foam. Some more foam. Some more foam. One more piece of foam. A really pathetic a half spool of green filament, but another half spool of white filament. So that's really cool. A half spool of support filament. It's really neat that they provide this, and it's interesting that this one is foil sealed while these are plastic sealed. This filament is used in the AMS for printing supports. So the model would be printed in PLA and the supports in support filament. Personally, I've never seen a need for this, but it is cool that this exists. And one more item, the Bambulab clock kit. If you're not familiar with these kits, these little kits allow you to get the components required to build something with a combination of mechanical parts and 3D printed parts. For example, here's a boat kit. It comes with the motor, and then they give you the STL files to print the rest of the boat. We won't be making those toys today, but we will in the future. Let's get this thing out of the bag. You might notice we have no tools or spare parts or other accessories. That's because they're hiding in there. So let's handle this thing carefully until we get them out. Right here is the front of your printer. You can see there's a connection and a plate of glass. That's the giveaway. Go ahead and take this stuff off. You'll see it is literally a bag. You are left with this beautiful machine absolutely covered in tape. Let's get that tape off. I do kind of wish they didn't put the tape directly on the wall of the printer because it's quite easy to scratch it while trying to peel it off. I don't know what the alternative is, but I feel like it should be something else. This is the door right here. Don't be afraid. You can open it up. It's actually inside a little bag. So we're gonna open up that little bag, close the door, work the sticky part out, open the door again, remove the bag. Voila, beautiful X1C door. Here inside, you'll be like, what the bleep is that? That's your AMS. Let's get it out. More tape. You can peel off these two sides or just go all the way across. You'll notice this little lip right here, this little tab, that takes the cover off. And you'll see the cover is in the same bag that your door was in. Go ahead and get that out. Just rip it open. This is not important. There you go. There's your beautiful bamboo cover. Go ahead and get it full of fingerprints. Who cares? Now I've got tape and bags sticking all over my feet. Excuse me. All right, so here we are looking inside the machine. You'll see there's some foam. This foam is surrounding the AMS. Go ahead and gently work those out. Lean it back and work that little piece of foam out. And when I say lean it back, I mean like 2 millimeters, okay? Let's go ahead and work this piece of foam out also. If you find these two are too tight, you can wait until we unlock the AMS. Do not grab and yank on the AMS. It is locked in place. Remember that box? Open it up. Look at all the crap inside this box. Underneath all this stuff, there it is. 2 Allen keys. Also, you'll notice, poorly packaged, just sitting there in the cardboard, is a spare nozzle. This is a 0.4 hardened steel nozzle though. You can tell it's hardened steel because it's black. Here we are looking at the front of the X1C. Remember what I said about the AMS being locked in place? Look right here and right here. You will see 2 screws. Use that Allen key to remove them. In case you have any doubt that you're looking at the right screws, there are literally red arrows pointing to them. When assembling a 3D printer, if there are red arrows pointing at screws or yellow arrows, remove those screws. With those screws removed, you can grab the AMS and lift it up and out of the printer. Stand the AMS up on its base. Your AMS sits like this. That brings us back to the printer. There is all kinds of crap in here. Let's get it out. First things first, do you see them? You see them. A whole bunch of red screws. These red screws secure the base that the AMS was on. Go ahead and remove the desiccant pack and that little label. There's a couple of tips for you on this little label. Go ahead and use that same key to remove all of these screws. With all 4 screws removed, you can grab this and gently lift it up and out of the printer. What you do with that piece is up to you. You can dispose of it or you can put it aside. We are not done yet. Look into your machine and you will spy 3 more red arrows pointing at screws. Don't miss the one all the way back here. Go ahead and remove those 3 screws. You might get easier access to the rear one by removing the bed. You may simply grab the bed from the tab in the front and pop it off. However, do keep in mind the print bed is easily replaceable, so I would rather you damage the print bed than the hot plate beneath the print bed. So whenever possible, if there's any risk, leave the print bed on. I'd rather you scratch this than the magnetic hotbed underneath. You will see there are some more foam pieces under your hotbed. Let's go ahead and leave them for now. Instead, let's have a look at our tool head. It's surrounded in cardboard. Carefully remove this cardboard. I like to just give it a little rip and then fold this piece up over the rail. Do be careful of these rails and belts here. I'd rather you not touch them. You may gently move this hot end aside and work the cardboard off from the other side as well. Again, I prefer to rip it and gently remove it. I don't want to mess up this cable chain, touch these rails or those belts. What you see here is the tool head, and this is the tool head cover. Go ahead and remove this little piece of green tape. The tool head cover is simply attached by magnets. Simply grab it firmly and pull it off. Be very gentle. There is a short cable on the left upper corner of this tool head cover. That is the fan cable. Go ahead and snap it back on. Don't miss this one, hiding back here in the corner. The foam inside your poop chute. Just put your finger in the hole and work it out. Here in the back is the door for your X1C's filter. There's a piece of tape over it. You can go ahead and peel it off now. Revealing a tab. That tab is your X1C's carbon filter. And now it's time to set up our AMS. Spin your printer around and have a look at the back. You may go ahead and remove the plastic coverings on your beautiful new AMS. To open your AMS, you will simply grab this lip here and pick it up. However, in the event your AMS won't open, it may be locked. Look right here. These tabs spin forward. Now the AMS is locked. When in use, you will keep those tabs forward. Push them back. It is now unlocked and will open easily. Go ahead and remove the bag with the tubes. Here we are looking at the back of the AMS and the back of the X1C. We are going to mount the AMS to the left of the X1C. If you are looking at the printer, it'll be to the right, but the AMS will be to the printer's left. Remove the tape from this tube and have a look right here. We will take this tube and gently push it in. It only goes the tiniest bit. Please don't force it. Do be careful. This tube is really short. You may use a longer piece of Bowden tube, and Bambu Store also has those available. You may also turn your AMS sideways and use it like this. In that little brown box that came with your printer, and find these two wires. Grab the longer one. Your AMS has two ports. Pick the closest one to the printer and plug that cable in. The other side goes right here on the port right here on this hub. You have one cable left. One of those is shaped like an L and one is straight up. Take the one that's straight up and plug it in underneath this hub. The cable has a clip on it. The clip will face the machine. Yes, I know. It'll face the machine. Over here is the other port. You will take the cable and go over the Bowden tube, over, and plug that in. Now, if you'd like, you can install the single spool holder, or you can skip it. The spool holder is in a little bag inside that brown box, and it looks like this. It comes with a little bag with two screws that says for spool holder. It goes right here, and it's literally labeled spool holder. There is one screw already in the body, so go ahead and use your Allen key to remove it. Go ahead and put the new spool holder in. It orientates like this. It says top, and the holes obviously line up with the holes. You may find it easier to actually put the screws in the holes first, go through the entire fitting, and with the screw held in place, screw it in. And there you have it. The external spool holder is installed. In case you were wondering, the AMS has no plug. It is powered by the X1C via its sole power connection right here. Now we need to install the screen. In that box of goodies is this little box. This little box is actually your beautiful X1C screen. This is one of the biggest benefits of having the X1 over the P1 is this beautiful screen. It has a protective film. You can remove it now or later. Here is a ribbon cable. We want to be really gentle with this ribbon cable. Go ahead and free it of its tape. Again, very careful of the ribbon cable. Look behind the screen. You will see there's writing. If you can read that writing, if it's right side up, that is the orientation of the screen. The connector is right there. Gently grab this little ribbon cable. You do not have to squeeze these little tabs. Rock that connector into the screen. I cannot stress enough. If you are rough, you will break it. Line up the tabs with the slots. And gently, firm pressure, and the screen will lock into place. You can now tilt the screen up or down. You will likely want to tilt it up just a little bit. Super duper, your X1 Combo and AMS are ready to be powered on. Please be sure the power switch on the back is set to 0. 0 is off, 1 is on. Plug it in, then switch it on. Go ahead and choose your language. I will choose English. Choose your region. I will choose North America. Enter your Wi-Fi. I will choose Greg Adventure. Now enter your password. If you are unsure that you typed it correctly, you may touch the little eyelid right there and it will show you what you typed. Press join. You will see this little spinny guy right here. Be patient, let it do its thing. Press confirm. If you notice you press confirm and this little button says skip instead of next, just wait a moment and it will change to next. Touch next and the machine will present to you a QR code. Now you will need your Bambu Handy app. If you don't have a Bambu account or the Bambu Handy app, please download the Bambu Handy app onto your device and set up a Bambulab account. Once you've done that, open Bambu Handy, look at the top of the screen and press the plus button. Here you will see it says scan QR code. Go ahead and point the camera at the QR code and you will see it detected that printer and would like to bind to it. Press confirm to bind. Should the screen come up and say confirm to bind again, press confirm to bind again. When it's working, you will see the screen changes on your X1C and your Handy app will log you in to that printer in the app. Go ahead on your X1C, press next, press agree. This is up to you. Do you want to send information to Bambu? Some people are going to say no. I'm going to say yes. Before proceeding, you may name this printer on the Bambu Handy app. Do that by touching the hamburger. That is the symbol right here with the 3 lines. And all the way at the bottom, it says device name. I will name this machine Quali. Press save and you will see the machine is now known as Quali. If you back out, you will see on the top it also says Quali. This makes life a lot easier when working with multiple printers. Let's go ahead and run that calibration. Press next. Press calibrate. You will notice the bed begins to rise, and would you look at that? Exposes the foam, and you can go ahead and easily remove it. The machine will now go through a crazy calibration process that involves all kinds of bouncing and vibrating and shaking. Don't be alarmed, let it do its thing. When you see the glorious words, calibration complete, press next. You'll notice it's asking you to be sure you remove the foam. We did that. Go ahead and press start printing. Don't worry, it's not actually going to print anything, but what it is going to do is ask you to update your firmware. Here's the kicker. You should go ahead and rerun the calibration after the firmware. Some people are afraid to update their firmware. Please go ahead and update your firmware. Press yes. Here you will see the little green dot showing you there is a firmware update for the printer itself. You'll also notice your printer detects the AMS unit. Press update. Are you sure you want to update? Yes. And off you go. You are going to click on confirm. You are going to say yes. You will say confirm again. And then you are going to press later. This is why. It may want to update the firmware again. In other words, instead of jumping from the firmware on the machine to the newest, it may have stepped up to a firmware between the current and the original. It also may have neglected to tell you that your AMS needs an update. Let's go ahead and press on the gear icon. Oh no, there's a green light next to firmware. Let's touch that. Our AMS and our printer need firmware updates. Let's go ahead and do them by pressing update. Yes. And here we are again. Press confirm. And it drops us back at the home screen. Press the gear. And over here, you will see firmware now. Click into that, and you will see your Bambu and AMS. Neither one have a dot, and you are currently fully updated. Now that you have finished updating your firmware, you may notice this time it didn't prompt you to calibrate. However, that doesn't mean you still shouldn't. Anytime you do a firmware update, you should run a full calibration. Plenty of people have had bizarre occurrences, including ruining their print beds after firmware updates by not running calibrations. Let's get this over with. To run a full calibration, touch the double T's, touch Utilities, touch Calibrate. Make sure every option is checked, and press Start Calibration. This time you have a very specific screen with detail on what it's doing when it's doing it. You will see this list 1 through 6 taking you through the process. With the calibration done, go ahead and press confirm. Please be careful. Don't accidentally press start calibration again. Go ahead and press the home button. Your printer is ready and it's time for the good stuff. A few things to look at while you are here. First things first, let's stick a micro SD card in this machine. The micro SD slot is right here on the side of the screen. Go ahead and insert a memory card with the lettering facing forward. After inserting the memory card, click on the gear and look right here. You will see it says micro SD card format required. Go ahead and touch format. Go ahead and touch format again. Press close. With the card formatted, you will now be able to go into video. You will notice it's defaulted to 1080p. Leave it there. Touch off the screen to close that menu. You may also adjust this setting on the Bambu Handy app by clicking on the little hamburger right here, clicking on record setting, and turning videos on or off, then selecting the resolution. If you select it on the app or the printer, the opposite will match. The printer will set the app will set the printer. You won't have to worry about conflicting settings. While here, another fun feature that takes advantage of the memory card you may want to enable is the ability to save your cloud printed files onto the memory card. Touch the double T and right down here, cache cloud print files to microSD card. Check that. This will save the files you send to the printer from Handy or Studio to the microSD card and allow you to reprint them from the machine. To find those files, you touch the folder icon and then you touch Print Cache. They will appear in that window. Now would be a good time to run a test print and to set up Bambu Studio. If you don't have Bambu Studio installed on your computer, please do it now. Then log in with your Bambulab account. Make sure you use the same account on Bambu Handy and Bambu Studio. Let's go ahead and set up our X1C in Bambulab Studio. The first thing you'll need to do is install and launch Bambu Studio. You should have a Bambulab account and you should be logged in. This is the opening screen to Bambu Studio. You'll see my recently open and you'll see Maker World and Online Models, Maker Lab and all that fun stuff. Take your mouse and click here into Prepare. Right here on the top you'll see Printer. Press this gear icon. This screen should have launched for you if this is your first time setting up a printer in Bambu Studio. Here you'll see all the printers Bambu Studio supports. Go ahead and choose your X1C Bambulab X1 Carbon. The machine came with a 0.4 nozzle, so we will leave this checked. If you have any other nozzles, feel free to check those as well. Go ahead and press Confirm. Here in the pull-down menu, under System Presets, the Bambulab X1 Carbon with the 0.4 nozzle profile will appear and you are ready to begin working on your X1 Carbon with Bambu Studio. Let's go ahead and do a test print. In the future, you will send prints from Bambu Handy or Bambu Studio. For now, we will start a test print from the printer itself. Your printer comes with a series of models pre-sliced for the X1C on its storage. To access them, click the folder icon right here. You have single color options and even one multicolor option. You'll notice the multicolor option uses the green and white that comes with your printer. Let's go ahead and do that one. Let's leave everything on: AMS, bed leveling, flow calibration, and time lapse. In the future, you can use your own judgment if you want to have bed leveling or flow calibration turned on. I typically leave them turned off and only turn them on if I feel like I removed the bed or I touched the printer too much, or it's a really important print that has a lot of bed surface and a lot of contact with the bed. Then to be safe, I run it. Otherwise, for typical small prints, I tend to not be running bed leveling and calibration every time. You will want AMS always on, and I like to keep time lapse on. Unless I've printed the same model 100 times, I might turn it off. Let's go ahead and get the filament into your AMS. Be sure the AMS is unlocked and open the lid. Your filament is secured by a piece of tape. You can remove that. And rather than wrestle with the tape, just snip it off. You don't need an angle or any of that mythical urban legend stuff. Just snip it. Reach into here. Peel off this little piece of sticker and peel off this little piece of sticker. Under here are 2 desiccant packs. Remove them from the bag and put them back in. To be sure you can close this cover, make sure the fat section of the desiccant pack is toward the rear of the compartment. Place your filament spool into the AMS with the filament coming over the top. Pinch the filament, place it in the hole, and push down. The AMS will take it. Do the same for the green. You will see there are slots here you're going to put it between the closest slot to the divider. Just like this. We will push that filament right here into the feeder as well. Close your lid and lock it on both sides. Please don't get lazy with locking the unit. The lid helps keep the filament spools in place and prevents them from popping up out of their slots. Because this is Bambu brand filament, there is a chip on the spool that allows the machine to read the spool and automatically identify the kind of filament in the machine. There's nothing else left to do. Go ahead and press print now. You may go ahead and put the cover back on your printer. This is in fact PLA. Sometimes it's best to have a little bit of air on the machine. What I like to do is take the cover, flip it over, and put it down upside down. You'll find this little latch makes a space for some air. Getting started will take a little bit longer because you've turned on all of your calibrations. If bed leveling and flow calibration were not selected, the machine would start to print a lot faster. And there you have it, two very nice looking little multicolor Bambulab pucks. Grab this little tab on the front of the plate and simply pop the print bed off the hot plate. When the plate is cool, simply grab it by the side, flex it, and the print will pop off. They look really good. If yours look good too, you are done setting up your printer and ready to go print stuff.